Hey YouTubers, this is Jacques. Today I'm just going to talk about a simple two-flash setup that you can use when you're working in the studio. Stay tuned. As you can see right here, I'm just showing you a setup that I actually did. And before I show you the actual slideshow of the shots, I'm just going to talk quickly about my two-flash setup that I use. Now, a lot of bigger studios use a 3-flash setup, or they'll even use a gigantic umbrella behind the photographer. There's a lot of different ways to set up your stuff, but normally what you do is you have 2 side lights, a hair light, and a key light in the middle to shine directly onto the model. I do not do that. What happens with that is that the basic philosophy is that you have to counterbalance each light that you're shooting in to make sure there's no shadows and that you brighten up the things you need to brighten up. I myself work with a beauty dish that is gridded, that has a grid inside, which makes sure whatever comes out of that beauty dish is in a perfect cylinder right out of that beauty dish. For that reason, it stays directly on the model. Wherever I point this beauty dish will go directly on the subject and nowhere else. Basically, the philosophy is soft boxes are nice when they're big. The problem with that is because it's bigger, it'll leak to the back. So you have to pull your subject forward so that the light doesn't leak to the back. You have to counter the light that reflects off the backdrop in the back. I don't do that. Because I use this gridded beauty dish, I keep my light directly on my subject. After that, I have 2 other solutions to counter any light that's getting in the way. One is the softbox in the back, and 2 is the reflector. A very small softbox, which I put on the ground, no one sees, and it just shoots a bit of flash onto the white backdrop to give me the color I want. Now, the flash on the ground is really at a low power level, so it just shines a bit of light on the back, but it does a pretty darn good job. So if I want to whiten up my backdrop a bit, I'll always have a flash directly pointing at the backdrop to shoot some light onto that backdrop to reflect back into my picture. All other light that I direct onto the subject is with the beauty dish with the grid. Because there is a grid, the light comes out in a perfect cylinder and does not leak out to the backdrop, to the side walls, or anything like that. Sometimes, though, I can use the reflector because my beauty dish is at a higher angle, and I'll put it under the chin of the model so that we can make sure that there are no raccoon eyes or light or shadows under the chin. But that is about all I use. The reflector is the thing that actually counters any light imbalances, and the rest is all done with the beauty dish with grid. I hope that helps you guys a bit. It simplifies a lot of things because, I mean, you almost have to be like a light technician when you start to get into bigger flashes. Yes, I agree. Bigger flashes you can come out with some great light, but I have found this way to be extremely effective for me. So without further ado, here are the results. So there it is, guys, my 2-flash setup with white backdrop. Hope you enjoyed. Tell me about your flash setup and what you think of this one. Like, share, subscribe, and don't forget, everybody, keep on making something from nothing.